Oh dear. Guess what film I went to see last week at the cinema? Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Just in case you didn't get that. Yeah. Right. My review for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, just before I start, I'm going to try and leave this review as spoiler free as I possibly can. For the simple reason being, the film, well, two reasons really. The film's only just come out, like not even a week ago, 6 days. So there's still probably quite a lot of people out there that haven't been to see it, and spoilers for films aren't fun if you're really looking forward to the film and you don't want it spoiled for you. And also, after my last review for Kong Skull Island, there were a few moments in that review where I gave a spoiler and then gave the warning for the spoiler after the fact. And apparently, that's not how these things work. So, yeah, I need to get better at doing that, really. So, sorry if that spoiled things for you. But to be fair, the film wasn't that great anyway, so I won't worry about it too much. But with this film, I'm gonna leave it as spoiler free as I can. Now, I love Marvel films. Anyone who knows me will tell you that I love Marvel films. I've loved all of them so far, to be honest with you. Oh well, I've either loved them or I've really, 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 really liked them. I kind of got stuck on a loop there. I didn't mean to do that many reallys. Anyway, when the first Guardians of the Galaxy film came out, I had no idea what the Guardians of the Galaxy were, because it's kind of based, I think, on one of their lesser known comic books, one of their less popular ones. Certainly not as popular as like the Avengers or the X-Men or, you know, Iron Man or Captain America or Hulk or any of those characters. It never received that kind of big scale popularity, I don't think. So I didn't know anything about it really. But I went along to watch it anyway because it looked like good fun. It looked quite cool, and I absolutely loved it. I'm quite a big Firefly fan. I'm a very big Firefly fan. And Guardians of the Galaxy to me kind of had a bit of a Firefly-esque feel to it, in the sense that you've got a bunch of characters who aren't always on the right side of the law, out there in space, flying around, doing jobs that aren't, as I say, always legal. So it had kind of that kind of cool outlawish kind of feel to it that Firefly had for me. And also, tacked onto that, it's got action, it's got drama as well, it's got humour, lots of great humour, and absolutely loved that very first Guardians of the Galaxy film. So it's probably one of my more favourite Marvel films. So when I found out that they were doing Volume 2, the sequel, and when my girlfriend found out about it as well, because she likes the first one as much as I do, probably even more, maybe, because it's got a raccoon, and she really likes raccoons. She wanted to go and see the film as well, so she actually set a countdown timer on her phone that started at something like 100 days. But anyway, we were both really excited about it. This film did not disappoint. Not at all. Not in any way. It's as good. It's as funny. It's as energetic. It's as cool. It's as awesome as the first one was, if not more so. So what you've got with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the main storyline kind of focuses on Star-Lord finding out basically who his biological father is and meeting his biological father. That's not a spoiler, everybody knows that. And yeah, it's just great. You've got so Chris Pratt as Star-Lord, he's got the main storyline obviously in it. he gives another great performance. He's just as energetic and funny and charismatic as he was in the first film, and he's brilliant. Zoe Saldana as Gamora. She's got her own kind of subplot in there as well, more focusing on her and Nebula. And Nebula as well, played by Karen Gillan of Doctor Who fame, is actually... I wasn't overly keen on her in the first one. I thought she was a bit too over the top, maybe a little bit too... like she was trying too hard to be the bad guy. Whereas in this film, it seemed like she'd just nailed it. She just got it right, and I really liked Nebula in this one. I thought she was a great character. She was a lot better, I thought, in this one than she was in the first one. And Gamora as well. Her storyline, their storyline is really, really good. It's really good to watch. You've got Rocket Raccoon, voiced by Bradley Cooper, who gives another great voiceover performance as well. He's got his own subplot in there, which is kind of more about him sort of learning to accept who he is and what he is, and the fact that he's now working as part of a larger team. And that's great to watch as well. Rocket is one of the better characters in the film, and he's awesome, and he's adorable as hell. He's cool, and he's sarcastic, and you can't not love him. Groot, he's not as big or as strong or as imposing as he was in the first film, because obviously that happened at the end of the first one. I may have cried a little bit of that, but anyway, they've replaced all of that with absolute 100% complete unignorable adorableness. He's just so adorable right from the very first opening scene. This is right, bit of a spoiler alert, small spoiler alert. The very first scene in this film, you've got the Guardians of the Galaxy, who have been employed by this race of people. I forget their name, the Sovereign. I think they were called the Sovereign, to protect like these big power sources, these big batteries, and from this like huge monster that's coming to try and feed them. It looks like a giant squid. And the first scene is all the Guardians of the Galaxy fighting this big monster and getting slapped around quite a lot. Baby Groot is the scene follows Baby Groot, and it's just him dancing to this song that's playing, that they've hooked up through this speaker system actually in the film. While all his friends are getting their asses kicked, he's just there dancing away. So good. It's so good. It's so good. Anyway, and finally, Drax was. It's difficult to call Drax in this one, because I do kind of feel like he got a little bit sidelined. I do kind of feel like he was sort of turned a bit more into like a comedy relief character. A little bit. It was okay. It didn't make the film disappointing in any way, because it was good comedy. It was good. All of the comedy in this film, good. But you know, from what I do know of Drax from the comic books, little, I do know that he's quite a big, quite a powerful character, quite a major player in the Marvel universe. And I don't know, it felt a bit wrong that he was just there to do comic relief. I felt like they could have perhaps done a bit more with him. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me missing something because I was paying too much damn attention to Baby Groot. I don't know. But maybe I need to go and see this film again. Maybe I need to go back to the cinema and watch it again so that I can pay a bit more attention to Drax. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. But anyway, yeah, overall, the film itself, if anything, it's an improvement on the first one. It's more funny, it's more exciting, it's more action packed, it's more in places dramatic, and it's brilliant. If you haven't been to see it yet and you want to, book yourself a ticket and go and see it, because what are you waiting for? It's awesome. It is awesome. I'm gushing at the moment. I know I am, and I don't care because it's a brilliant film. Go and see it. So for this one, I'm gonna give it, out of 10. I'm gonna give it 10. 10 raccoons out of 10. Because the only complaints that I had about it were very, very, very minor and very, very, very nitpicky, and was basically limited to the Drax thing. I suppose it was a little bit strange. It was a little bit strange that they didn't do like a post-credit scene that ties into future Marvel films. I didn't expect one for Spider-Man because that's Spider-Man. That's, it's Spider-Man. Whereas I was kind of thinking maybe there might be one for Thor Ragnarok, which is later this year. I thought certainly, because it'll be the next film that the Guardians of the Galaxy are in, I believe, I thought certainly there would be one for Infinity War, but there wasn't. It was very Guardians of the Galaxy centric. It was very it was contained to just them, and didn't kind of spread out into the wider Marvel universe, cinematic universe at least, that we've seen. So that was a little bit strange, but by no means a complaint. It was still good. There was still good. There was about 5 good cutscenes, end scenes, like post-credit scenes after the film had actually finished. So yeah, it's great. Go and see it. Honestly, you'll love it. I think it's awesome. It's brilliant. There we go. My Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy review. Enjoy.